What's up, guys? If you're new here, my name's Sean. I'm a full-time clothing eBay reseller, and I'm super excited. I'm a little bummed out that my Sunday kind of drug a little bit longer and I wasn't able to get this live shipping done, but we're here today, Monday morning. If you guys can see over my shoulder, we added some more of the Bears stuff because they did win. Tyson Bagent came in, undrafted free agent from a small school. If you guys don't watch football or you don't know anything about pro sports, the odds are completely against him. He was able to come from nowhere, a town of like 18,000, to start for the Chicago Bears and actually win a game with a team that has been losing game after game, season after season. So very impressive. Kudos to you, Tyson Bagent. I don't think he's watching the show. I really doubt that he is, but great on you, man. So we have a lot of items to ship out this morning. We have 73 orders, $1,875.04. I have a lot of stuff here. I didn't get it all picked, but all the stuff that needs to go out today, I think it was like 59 items have to go out today. That is all here in front of me. And that means if 59 has to go out today, that means 74. That means like 23 came from like whatever the cutoff time for eBay is to like get them shipped out. So that's quite a bit of orders. We have some combined orders. I put stay focused on the thumbnail because I did sell a lens. I sold a lens for $39.99 plus $8.99 shipping. I think I paid $7 or $10 for it. I can't remember, but I want to put that in there because, hey, hard goods are selling. It's exciting to sell things other than clothes and to sell things for more than like $25. It really is. But we're going to cruise through the day, try to get these shipments done. I've had a bit of a rocky morning, so the weather is changing. Oh, yeah, and the blue background, I didn't even realize it, but I use the royal blue bags from Jiaropack. It's my favorite shipping company. You can get colored poly mailers, Taylor 10, code down below. But, yeah, I got the blue in the back because it's Chicago Bears colors, but the orange doesn't come up very, very nice in the back. But the blue does match the mailer, so that is an added benefit to that. Hope everything is sounding okay, because I actually lost the little, they call it a windshield. It's like a piece of foam thing that goes over the mic. I lost it. I've been using the mic on site places because I'm running advertisement for some people. I'll create like a commercial for them. So that's kind of a part of my business that I've just started, and it's really fun because it helps businesses that are underutilizing Facebook and the reach of like short form content, which I know I'm not very good at it, but I enjoy making it and I think it's really helping people. So that's why I lost that. I hope everything sounds good though. And then on the other front, I hope everyone is doing well. Michelle, first person in, always says she's from Jacksonville, Florida. I appreciate that you appreciate where you live and probably where you're from. So always nice to see you in here. I hope everyone is doing well because it is Monday, and I was going to title the video something along the lines of, is winning everything? And then I was kind of thinking like winning on eBay, winning in life. And the reason I said that is because as a diehard football fan of the Chicago Bears, they won yesterday. And I can tell you this, after the clocks hit 0 in the fourth quarter and we were up 30-12, I felt like a weight was lifted off me. I said, if the Bears can win on Sunday, then I can win on Monday. And you can go ahead and clip that. But that is, it's everything. I mean, I'm totally fired up to today. You know what I've decided? I've been trying to figure out like when to fit in my workouts. I'm going to start waking up at 5:30. So I'm going to go to bed at 10:30, wake up at 5:30, do some workouts. The problem that happened this morning was my son woke up at 11:30. My wife got up and took care of him. And then he woke up again at like 6. So I was already like kind of getting into my workout. And anyway, but we're going to push on with that because I think that is the optimal time to work out. I know a lot of people aren't morning people, but if you can start getting loose and get your blood flowing and kind of get your muscles going, it really sets the day off. I'm really energized, I think, because of that. But also because the Bears won. So if winning provides that much of a boost for me, I wonder if it's the same way with people's business. Like, is this winning from the Bears going to translate into my business winning more? I mean, I don't know. Like, I'm not entirely sure, but I can tell you this. When I work out, I typically have more productive days than when I don't. And we don't have our big bag set up, so I got the eBay swag bag from eBay Open last year. I don't have the big bags. They're all at the storefront, which is basically like my office. that I call a storefront to get people to sell me their clothes, like a buy-sell trade store. All those bags are over there. But anyway, I don't know. Like, I think things are going pretty well. You know, I think if I can stay on a good sleep schedule and also a good diet. And diet's not like I'm trying to lose weight, but I just need to avoid those really bad days, like the days where I overeat or I eat too much, just like bad greasy food. Then I think we're gonna like take this momentum into the end of the year, and then the new year starts up. But the end of the year's got to be like, to me, it's one of the better parts of the year. Like living in Texas, we deal with the heat all the time. Like right now, it's actually super humid and hot, but the winter time, which it turns like summer to like boom, like it is very cold outside and windy here in Texas. But you got Halloween coming up. Seth's first Halloween. That's my son. He's 11 months old. His first Halloween. His birthday's coming up in a couple weeks. We also have Thanksgiving, which is one of my favorite holidays, and you have Christmas, which Christmas is Christmas. So I'm really excited for the end of the year, but I'm also excited for like the beginning of the year. I feel like whenever you have a new year, clean slate. Anything can happen. No rules is kind of how I like to play it. And I don't know. I'm fired up, man. I'm going to lift my chair just a little bit. There we go. I've got a new device coming in. So I recently ordered, this is the third gimbal I've ordered in the last week. A gimbal, if you guys are unfamiliar, is it's kind of like a tripod, and it keeps things balanced so that you can do a bunch of cool video shots, if you want to call it a shot, video little elements, and it's super impressive. Like I went through a couple of them, and I finally found one that I think is going to work, and they're awesome. So I'm extremely happy for that. We got 12 viewers with 3 likes. Okay, so that's pretty good. It is Monday morning. I know a lot of you guys out there are, doing your thing, and I'm glad the ones that are in. And I hope people will catch the replay because, Sundays we typically have a lot more people in because a lot more people are, not working their 9 to 5 or whatever. But I assume the people that are in now are, working on eBay or, Poshmark or reselling. Maybe you're doing your photos or you're shipping your items. But I definitely needed some interaction. I got to have the weekly lives. I like them. I think it's a good way to touch base with everybody, to kind of keep everyone up to date with what I'm doing. So, keep you guys accountable and then keep me accountable as well. I have a lot of new Facebook followers on my page, Taylor Exchange Facebook page. I have a lot of new followers because I had a viral reel. It's over like 60,000 views, so that's super viral, especially for like the size of my channel. So if you guys want to see that, it's Taylor Exchange. I think I put it on YouTube as well, but you'll definitely be able to tell which one because the rest of them don't have that many views. But yeah, I think coming on live talking, I think the advertising business is cool. If you guys have never advertised for your business, or say there's people who do pop-up shops, pop-ups, there's like an event or there's like a building, you rent a spot and do a pop-up. There's different vendors and stuff. I don't know if people do that with their eBay stores, if they're selling things. I guess it'd be similar to kind of like a flea market, But anyway, we went to one this weekend. It was pretty cool. It was like a Halloween one. Unfortunately, Seth can't go into bounce houses and stuff. He's just too small and can't walk. So he kind of misses out on that. But there's a lot of people out there that are hustling, like trying to sell their stuff, or they're trying to get the word out about their small business. And I think advertising for those companies, making reels for them, doing voiceovers, it can get you thousands and thousands of views. So I think it's a pretty cool thing. I hope to do more of it. And the problem is it's kind of like salesy to try to pitch it to somebody, but I still haven't figured out the best way to kind of bring it up organically and not be like, hey, I know this what's real I make you could get you like 10,000 views, maybe it'll help your business. But I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Debbie says you are from SoCal. That's Southern California, I believe. Nick Picker is shipping your orders. Awesome. Hope you guys had some sales this weekend. People, I've been trying to figure out Facebook a little more. I grew up with Facebook, but I didn't get really into it until after YouTube got really popular for me. So I don't know, I don't know how to say it. I don't know are you guys in the Facebook groups for eBay? Because there's a lot of those that post things, and a lot of times people take a picture of their garage sale pickup. They're like, hey, I spent $200. Did I do well? And then people come in. There's always the people that are helpful. That's probably number one. Then there's the people that are like too good to answer their post. And they say something snarky like, if you have to ask, that kind of thing. And then you have the people that just crap on them, And it's kind of I don't want to say volatile, but kind of a cutthroat place to to post, So every once in a while I'll post like a 90-day total to try to, just share some of my expertise on selling. But at the same time, I like how it is. It's pretty cool. I like people talking in there, but at the same time, it seems kind of violent. You know what I'm saying? It's like you're going to get some messages with all caps. It's that type of messaging that goes back and forth. I haven't really talked about what I've been selling because they've been kind of meh items, but I did sell these two BKE shirts. These are both the athletic. Oh, no. They're both pearl snaps, but one's a relaxed fit and one's an athletic fit. Hopefully that's not a big deal because the difference in the two is, I think, like a 1-inch pit-to-pit difference, possibly. But they ordered both of them. They paid $11 a piece and then the shipping, so pretty good deal for BKE. BKE definitely is not as valuable as it used to be, but it's still a cool-looking shirt, People wear them a lot. And then you got to think, there's people that wear that stuff that have always worn that stuff that will always buy that stuff. That's probably who this is going to. So we're going to put it in the flat rate envelope and ship it out. Man, all right. Whew, feeling good, man. I really am. I think, so what I did was, I don't know if you guys have ever done a push-pull. It's a workout where, I don't know if that's what it's called. That's what I call it. You start off with 1 pull-up, and then you do 2 push-ups, and then you do 2 pull-ups, and then 4 push-ups, and you go up to ideally 10 and back down. So that's like 55 pull-ups and like 100 and something push-ups. 110 maybe. But what I decided to do was to do like a push-pull with some air squats. So I would do 1 pull-up, 2 push-ups, 3 air squats, 2 pull-ups, 4 push-ups, 6 air squats, and like that. So I only made it up to 6, and I was going to 10, and then my son started crying. So I decided to get him and change him and kind of hang out. I gave him 4 ounces of formula. He's still drinking formula at night. So, but yeah, and then I came back in there a little bit later, and I was kind of like, once you start working out, it's hard to take a long break and then start again. But I still feel really loose. So I am happy about that. I bought some nice food at the Aldi's. I don't know if you guys go to Aldi's, but it's like a little cheaper than Walmart, and the parking lot's not so far away. I hate Walmart and places where you gotta walk really far. I just don't really like that. I don't know. I guess it's just being lazy. And I feel like I'm always gonna get in a door ding at a Walmart parking lot. I'm Just Key says, yo, what up? And then Jason said, just packed my orders, going to the post office in the rain. Do you guys do anything different if you go to the post office in the rain? It can definitely be annoying because, especially like the flat rate envelopes, they are cardboard pretty much, and then they'll get like soggy if they get really wet. And then sometimes it can mess the labels up. But I don't really do much different. Sometimes, because usually those big bags, like they cover them up, they're like protected. They're not just open. And I really don't have that many cardboard boxes. So I don't know. I mean, I'm going through my combined orders here. I got to do this on the bulk editor. And I'm trying to get those out of the way first so I don't miss them. We got another combined order here. This is Turtleson. not a good golf polo to pick up, but it looks really cool. And then this is just a, was it Ralph Lauren? Red stripe. So yeah, he bought both of these. I think this might be under £1 too. Let's see. Nope, it's right over £1. Unfortunate. Unfortunate son. Regardless, we're going to get it shipped out. Trying to drink some water. Trying to get off the energy drink stuff. Let's see. Nick Picker says, light weekend of orders for me, but I had a busy week and didn't list as much, but I did have 2 good weeks in a row. That's good. Yeah, I tried just not to have any like 0 days as far as like listings. Bare minimum is like 20, 25, you know. But today, I haven't even posted mine today. I have 25 ready to go. And it's so humid in the building that in my office building or whatever. It's a 12-story building. It's from the 50s. They've redid like the AC and stuff. The problem is, I think as soon as the temperature reaches a certain point, the AC shuts off and they either don't do anything for the heat or they turn the heat on. But it was extremely humid in there this morning. So Randy, my part-time worker, she started photos and like 30 minutes in, she's like, dude, it's way too hot in here. She goes, I'm not sure if I can make it the full day. Maybe I'll have to like cut some hours off. And I said, all right, I'll be there in a minute because I had to drop some boxes off for her. And I go in there and it was like sweltering. So I'm going to have to email like the landlord and just be like, look, I had to send an employee home. Like, I'm not really happy what's going on. Because I didn't make her stay. It was unbearable. And I'm not trying to like, I'm trying to make the job for her like as comfortable as possible because I don't want to have to find another employee. And she is like, you know, she's really good. And I don't think she's looking for other work, but at the same time, I want that to be like a break from her regular job. Like coming to me is like it's like getting to work as a reward. She can, you know, take her shoes off or whatever, like kind of be really relaxed and not all prim and proper with like her regular job, right? So if the environment's not good where she's working, I'm not going to push her to work. She would have stayed, but I wasn't going to make her do all that. This shirt right here, this is Ariat. This is Ariat Real Denim Women's. Almost said women's. Ariat Real Denim Women's. And Ariat Women's is kind of like Cinch Women's, Wrangler Women's, like those pearl snap shirts for the women. They do sell for like $20. They're not world beaters, but they are pretty good. Let's see. I got another one here. So yeah, we'll bag this one up. And they spent, let's see, $12.19 plus $8.99 shipping. And this was only a large. So it wasn't like a plus size. Had this been plus size though, we're talking like $30 probably. It's 9 ounces too. Germozo Yo said Boomer Sumer at Taylor Exchange. Okay. Yeah, I guess they're winning, right? I saw a meme with Lincoln Riley, I think, and stuff. Is it Lincoln Riley? Is that the one that's with Caleb Williams at USC? I'm not really sure. I don't follow college football that closely. I don't know. I mean, they play pretty hard. Like, I mean, NFL playoffs, they play extremely hard. And I suppose during the weekdays, during the weeks, NFL plays. But it seems like college, they play like it's the Super Bowl most games. And the problem is the blowouts in college, right? Like, those are not games I want to watch. I mean, when you're stomping a school that has like no money, no real chance of winning with the recruiting situation, then it's just too unbalanced. And that's what I don't like about it. I don't like all the gaudy numbers and stuff like that. All right, we've got 2 Duluth long sleeve button shirts. So Duluth, these are two 2XLTs. So mind you, they are big sizes. If they were just larges or mediums, I probably wouldn't pick these up unless they were $3 or less. At $5 for like a large long sleeve button shirt Duluth, and you're talking like plaid or like the wrinkle fighter, they're not like the greatest pickups. I don't know. It's kind of a judgment call. But yeah, these both sold for $11 a piece plus shipping. So Not a whole lot of money, but somebody bought 2 of them. I'm Just Key says, I got 31 orders over the weekend for my main store and 4 orders on my new sneaker store. All right, man. It's interesting because it's a brand new store, right? But does eBay know that you're like a legit seller? Like they're like, well, we still got to give him traffic. So we know he can make sales. That's good, man. I'm just going to throw my shoes and hard goods. I'm looking at them over here on the rack, and I can tell you I've got probably 8 pairs of shoes, 2 baseball gloves. I got some items from Walmart clearance, that little retail arbitrage, because if you guys didn't know, Walmart has a selling marketplace. Like, you know, they have Walmart website. Well, they have a marketplace you can sign up for and list items on Walmart, just like Amazon. And they actually have Walmart fulfilled just like Amazon. So that's something I was thinking about getting into. The problem with that is I haven't even been able to list an item. Like I'm set up and in there, but the listing for the Walmart is it's just not. I keep saying error. Like, I don't know if anybody's selling on Walmart. I know Nolan is, but let me know, because I just don't know how to get an item listed on Walmart. But I'm telling you, if you can get into Walmart and kind of get a foothold and understanding of the platform, Walmart's not going away. They're trying to copy Amazon, and they're building out fulfillment centers just like Amazon. That is, they're the gold standard, Amazon, so Walmart's copying them. That's what good businesses do, They realize people are not going into these big box stores, like spending their 1 to 2 hours on a Saturday looking for stuff. Like, they want to just sit at home and order, or while they're on a plane, order something and come home and have it. Like, that's what it is. So that is something I have done. And an example of the margins on those, there's a wood pellet grill cover. I paid $15 on clearance. It sells for $50, and that's free shipping. And then there's a $7 bottle of lotion, and it sells for $28. So I got 2 of those. And then there's like some weed killer or something that I got. So that is something what is happening? That's something I'm getting into a little bit. Not a lot of it, but a little bit. And if I learn more about Walmart, if you guys want to learn more about Walmart, you could message me. And there's a couple decent videos. A lot of people aren't really YouTubing about it because it's really new. It started this year, 2023. But yeah, it's something new marketplace. Queen Boss Lady says, why is everyone creating a second store? Well, I'm Just Key created one because he wants to separate his shoes from his clothing. And I guess that's one way. Are there other people doing it? Am I missing something? Is there other people out there doing it? I don't know. I just wouldn't want like a second login and stuff, That's what I wouldn't want. Looks like we're going to have to go first class on this one. This is a complete break-even piece. This is a pair of Hollister joggers. Not good. I've sold joggers for good money. These did not. Let's see. I'm Just Key says, Queen. Okay, so you're talking about your store. Yeah. Got you. Not going to put plants and flower pots on my gaming eBay store. That's funny. Yeah, I mean, hey. I will tell you this. You do get a different feel if you go to a website and everything is the same. Like if you go to yours and it's all shoes or all video games rather than video game, flower pot, toaster. Like it's a different feel for sure. So there's some merit to that for sure. I mean, Nick Picker says, I live in Ohio and I'm a Buckeyes fan. I watch maybe 2 games a year because it's almost always a blowout and not fun to watch. Yeah, exactly. Yep, and then those quarterbacks like Justin Fields don't ever have adversity because they have, awesome offensive lines like NFL receivers, and then they're playing schools that aren't very talented. Justin, I don't know, man. He's definitely still the starter. Like Tyson Bagent's not going to take his job just because he won a game, or even if he wins a couple games, just because he's not. The team definitely won that game, but Tyson did not lose the game, and that's very important to note. But at the same time, Justin hasn't won us a game yet either. He's never come from behind, I don't think. So it'll be interesting to see if Tyson keeps winning, if Justin comes in and plays really good again or plays bad. And then it's like, are they going to go quarterback in the draft? So it's pretty bizarre, but I do think our team is talented enough to win enough games, But I don't want to talk too much about football. This isn't a football channel. I get really into football. It's just good. It's Victory Monday. It's nice to listen to all the radios and sports people talk about the Bears as a good thing for once, And it's short-lived. We play Sunday night against the Chargers, and they have Bosa and Khalil Mack. So, all right. Happy Alicia says, I started selling 2 weeks ago on eBay, and I'm just getting my inventory up. I have finally 100 items. Sold 7. I'm also signed up for selling on Walmart and haven't figured it out yet. Me neither. I would suggest on your eBay to not stop listing items. You need to sell more than 7 with 100, just because you might be listing things that aren't selling well. Unless you're checking sell-through rate, you have to check the sell-through rate. Because if not, you're going to end up with a bunch of stuff that just nobody wants. Because I feel like people always focus on how many number of listings you have up, and that's not what it's about. It's not what it's about. It's about how much money are you selling per day, the profit per day. That's really what it's about. But it's good that you took the step to start, though, because a lot of people don't even start. I just don't want you to start wrong too long, and then you have to have a huge yard sale and stuff to get your money back. I would teach you about Walmart, but I don't know. I don't know how to do it. I haven't even listed an item on there. Every time I go to publish it, it says error, some type of error. So I don't know. I may actually have a Zoom meeting with those people, or there's chats you can go with for the Walmart people, because I absolutely think it would be good marketplace, especially if a lot of people aren't in it, So this is a vintage Patagonia. This is the deep pill, which I put pile instead of pill. I swear I took it because somebody had listed this correctly, whatever that's called. It's like Sherpa. Anyway, this is a vintage one. It is a men's small. It sold for $75 plus $8.99 shipping. I remember this intimately because a woman had this in her hand. She was holding it, and she goes, "Oh, this is such a great jacket, but it's just a little too small for me." And I was like, "Oh, okay." And then she held on to it for a while, and I was just kind of looking at the clothes, but then looking at her, and then looking at the clothes, and then I was like, "Are you gonna go for that one?" And she was like, "No, it's just too tight." And she put it, as soon as she put it on the rack, I grabbed it like this, and I was just like, "Yes." No, but I knew it was $50, so I knew it was going to be a good one, and I'm glad that she did not buy it, that she was just a little too big for it. Katorch says, good feeling after the Bears win. Yes, man, absolutely. It's about time. Our defense, the way they're playing, it's tough to win when you can't score points. So they are doing their job for sure. But our running back, Deontay Foreman, is a dude. And we've had running backs, it's just Getsy wasn't calling any running plays with Fields. And it's a good example because they say, well, Tyson Bagent can't throw quite like Fields can, He doesn't have the athletic ability the same way. But our offensive coordinator, he calls the game with max protect, run plays, little play action stuff here and there. With Justin against the Minnesota Vikings, first play of the game, 5 wide, no protection, sack on the blind side. How do you start a game? I played quarterback my freshman year. Mind you, it was the B team, but I can tell you this. If you get hit in the back the very first play of the game, you are not going to have a good game. You know there are some problems that are happening. And I'm telling you, I don't care what level of football you're at. As a quarterback, all eyes are on you. Whoever has the ball in football, all eyes are on them. And when you're paying attention to something else and somebody comes full speed and hits you, it's just crazy. I feel like they're doing Justin Fields a disservice. I really do. They say Justin holds it too long, the processing, make the game easier. Make it to where he doesn't ever have to hold it that long. It's not hard because the rest of the team, they're good. They're good enough to win in the league. Man, I need to like call into some of these radio shows and just like not vent. I hate the word vent because it sounds so like just lame, you know. And vent like I don't know. But anyway, it's I get fired up. I should make a whole video about that. But then, you know, you guys wouldn't care. You guys aren't like diehards. Happy Alicia says, good to know. I have a few big items. Cola Christmas Bear got for $9 and been selling for $150 to $200. Definitely learning to comp and make sure not buying the wrong stuff. Yeah, so with me, when I first started, like I definitely bought some things that I shouldn't have. Mainly because, you know, learning to pack items is a whole skill in itself. But now when I buy items, I never buy an item that won't make money. Unless I miss a flaw, which does happen very rarely. But yeah, everything I buy is gonna profit money. And that's why eBay is kind of like a cheat code. Like, very few investments in this world are 100% sure things, right? There's just very few. Queen Boss Lady with the cry face emojis. He says, do you ever have mailman pick up your packages? I do not. And the reason I don't is because I always feel like, one, I cannot entrust, and it's not like I live in a bad neighborhood, but there are some questionable people in my neighborhood, and I'm not leaving thousands of dollars worth of stuff where someone can grab it. And I don't want to schedule, I don't want the responsibility of like, I'm relying on that guy to pick up my stuff. eBay does not care if your post office guy doesn't pick up 73 packages. Like, you have a problem if if that many items are late, like you're going to have to deal with some problems. So I feel confident. Now, I don't have them scan it at the post office, but I could probably throw a baseball to my post office. It's probably like 100 yards, like a couple streets over. And it's like, I just drop them off there, you know, and I got a PO box. So like I get my returns, you know, I do get a lot of returns because I sell a lot of items in the clothing category. So I go there, I check my box, I say hi to the people. I you know, they let me in the back on the side door, and I throw everything back there. So Ragnar back there barking. So I think my wife maybe pulled up. She eats lunch around this time. He's probably just barking at her. Happy Alicia says, love the Bears. College ball is better, in my opinion. Boomer sooner. Oh, gosh. Well, at least you are somewhat of a Bears fan, but yeah. Let's see. 1993 Trading says, wait, is this about football? Welcome to the Chicago Bears After Hours podcast. We are talking all things Bears football. Like, that's how it would be. I'd be super in the camera. No, I don't know. I definitely would have like sound effect stuff. I want to be better at producing videos. I feel like my business is what my business is, right? I just feel like if I can make it better to watch, more people would watch. And I'm not talking about the people that watch all my videos. I'm talking about like getting like hundreds of thousands of views. Like, you have to have a solid video to get that many views. And I have not done it yet. So, but yeah, I would have callers come in. Caller number 9. What do you got, man? You're on with, I don't know, what do they always, it'd be like, not like the beat, you know, like a beat reporter, but it'd be like, burning it down in Texas, Chicago Bear football. Like, what do you got? Caller number 9. I don't know. But yeah, the Chicago Bears, man, they're pretty iconic, but Queen Boss Lady says, I found a Johnny Walker. A little early for that, guys. Johnny was silk top at Goodwill. Was so excited, but when it was my turn to pay, the power went out due to heavy rain. I almost ran out of the store with the top. That is a very problematic situation for thrift store shoppers, because I have had that happen at least 3 or 4 times. And one time at my Goodwill, this was crazy, but they said everything is $1 until the power comes back on. So I had like 7 items or something because it was not that good a day. I went back there and I grabbed like 30 things. It's, you know, it's kind of messed up, but I've had it also where I had a pair of Lululemon men's cargo pants, and they were in my size, and I was going to pay $25. That's what they priced them at. Power went out, and I was in Dallas, which is 2.5 hours away from me. They said, you'll have to come back tomorrow. I was like, I'm 2 hours away. I was like, can I just give you cash? They would not take cash. I've also had it happen where the, I don't know if the power went out or if just like something happened with the registers, like the register system where they weren't accepting cards. So they said only cash. So now I always have about $100, $200, like just in case that situation happens, because yeah, you lose an entire haul like that. Say you had like 40 items, you have to put them back on the rack because you have no cash or because something happened with the power. Like that's a disaster situation. You're talking about losing time and a bunch of items. Not good. Here's Tommy Bahama. So yeah, I'll talk more about these. I think what I'm going to have to do is just do like one what sold video a week just to kind of give you a taste of what items I sell, because I really don't want to talk price and items as I'm packing them. It really slows me down, and I don't know if it's all that valuable, but almost $1,900, 73 sales. If you do the math, it's like, I don't know. That's kind of why I asked for you to do the math, but I'll talk about the good one, like the really good ones, the ones you should look out for. The rest of them, I think if you're part-time, it gives you confidence that you can make the sale, but I don't know if it's worth the time to do small sales when you're just doing 5 hours a week. You might want to just wait and hit that one good item or a couple good items. That's how I would do it. Let's see. Torch says, don't forget the like buttons for our guy. Thanks, man. Yeah, I'm wondering, I'm going to go back to YouTube and see how many people are in. 36 people. We got 11 likes. Not too bad. Yeah, I knew there'd be a lot less people because it is Monday morning, but hey, I figured I needed to put it out, man. I felt really bad about yesterday, but I'm telling you, Seth, he didn't enjoy the Bears win as much as I'd like. He gets focused on his toys, and he's not really dialed in. But I'll tell you, the Eagles and the Dolphins were playing Sunday Night Football, such a good first half. I didn't even catch the rest of the game. I pretty much go to work in the evenings, like whenever my wife and kid are in bed and stuff like that. I go back to work, so I didn't catch the rest of the game. But he did sit with me on the couch and watch some of what the Eagles and Dolphins were doing. So I was trying to explain to him some just basic cover two, that type of just basic football stuff. But I don't know how much is really sinking in because, well, he's just a chunky little baby. He's a chunky little baby. Okay. Got to keep going, though, because lunch is right around the corner. I think, man. Sorry, my nose is kind of like itching. Had some allergy issues. I think lunch is going to have to be at 1. It's 12 p.m. Central here, so lunch will have to be at 1, I think, for me. Which is late. I mean, it's a little late, but sometimes it's okay to kind of have that hunger in you. Okay. Pair of Nike golf shorts, though. I always buy the plaid ones. The solid ones, I kind of shy away from, but the plaid ones, those are decent. But yeah, we're going to have to finish, we got packing to do. I got to go to the post office, and I want to get some of the shoes photographed today. And I think I don't know. I want to work on some content, but maybe tomorrow will be more of a content day since I'm running the live today. It's probably how I'm going to run it. Let's see. Do you guys have costumes picked out for Halloween? Is anybody into that, dressing up? Themes? A lot of people I heard were going as Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift, which I think is ridiculous. Not even that scary. Thank you for hitting the like button. Kevin Seb says, do you use any spreadsheet for accounting and taxes? Do you save receipts? I do not save receipts. I think it's one of the dumbest things ever. If I get audited, I'm just going to rely on my CPA, QuickBooks, and credit card statements. Because, what are you going to pull out thousands of receipts and try to match that stuff up? No, dude, this day and age, it's all online. So here's my strategy. Not a tax professional. I definitely do pay for a CPA for everything. So I pay for QuickBooks as well. I think it's $25 a month, and I have one credit card that is for shipping items, and then I have another credit card for cost of goods at thrift stores. If I go to yard sales or any type of private buys, that withdraw from the ATM, say you pull out $200 or $500, that is now cost of goods. But if you don't spend all of it, you need to earmark that stuff for cost of goods. So don't like spend it on other stuff because you're writing it for cost of goods. So there's a couple ways to do it, but talk to a professional. And the reason being is the GoDaddy had a really nice setup with tracking all that stuff, and then they stopped doing it. So then when I went to QuickBooks, I couldn't figure QuickBooks out in like an hour, which I think it takes like multiple hours to really get dialed in with QuickBooks. So I called a CPA, and boom, they like, well, we're experts at QuickBooks. Like, we do this for a living. So why try? It'd be like, I mean, would you try to do something that somebody else has 40 years experience doing, and you're just like, well, I've looked at it for a few hours, I guess I'm going to file my taxes this way. Like, there's too much money to be lost if you do it incorrectly. So like having somebody else do it for you, you get like the most, tax advantages. Also, you get the protection layer of if you get audited, because if the way my understanding is, which this is just a bit of like I don't know, like bar talk, I guess, but the way I've heard it online and stuff is like everybody that has their taxes, right? Like every Social Security, whatever, all the people that they see with all their taxes, they see different levels of how they're filed. And like the people who have nothing, it's probably like the vast majority, or maybe they have TurboTax and then the H&R Block. But then there's the ones that have tax people. Those are in another echelon in my understanding. So like IRS doesn't really want to waste resources trying to pin down if those people are making mistakes or like things. They're going after people who don't have any of that show solid numbers. Like if you say, oh, well, I made $10,000 or $20,000. Like if you don't have crooked numbers and things like that, like if you just have solid zeros after everything, they know you're just filling it in blindly. So they may go after that person. Or if they see massive reductions of income and things like that, like big things that swing, that's going to like draw red flags. But if you have a CPA and they're doing it the way they've been doing it forever, you have a much better chance of not running into those types of problems. That's why I pay them. And honestly, you're not even paying them that much in the grand scheme of things. So that is my little advice on that. But yeah, no, for a long time I was like, I'm doing this myself. I'm saving everything. I'm tracking it. But it just, I don't know, man. I feel so much better having somebody do it. And I file as, like I have an LLC. I file as an S corporation. I work for my own company. I pay myself as an employee. Like there's a lot of things that got to the point where I don't know if laws change or if I need to file stuff. It's nice to have the expertise right at your fingertips, right? So let's get this one going. Okay. Let's see. Queen Boss Lady says, there's no way I was leaving the top. You waited 20 minutes till the power came back. The top cost me $6, sold for $105 plus shipping. Yeah. Okay. Well, hey, some of them it's like game over if the power goes out, but that's good that it got back on. Bears says, been selling on eBay maybe 2 months. I have 183 listed, 78 sold. Learning a lot from start to now. Yeah, that's a pretty good range. Like that's pretty good range for listed to solds. I'm just kidding. Hello, caller 12. You're on with Football Exchange. What's on your mind today? Yeah. Yeah, that's good stuff, man. Let's see. 174. Here's a Tory Richard shirt. I pick them up if they look crazy. That looks crazy in my opinion, so I pick it up. Oh, Oh, you're Lindsay's saying my son's a Cowboys fan, or you're saying I'm a closet fan? You're talking about my son, right? No, the thing is, he doesn't have a choice in who he roots for. Like, I didn't have a choice. My dad didn't have a choice. So he's going to be stuck watching the Bears. And if he doesn't watch it, then he can go, on Sundays do his own thing. But, like, if he's going to hang out with the boys, he's going to watch the Bears. Torch says, watch him while delisting and selling similar on my store. Yeah, that's a pretty good strategy. I'd make sure to reduce the price, though. A lot of people just, like, take them down, put them up, but you need to change the price, like 5% down, and then relist. Or sell similar, relist, yeah. Queen Boss Lady's talking about, the little guy. 1993 Trading says, my husband got me this crazy dinosaur costume. It's hilarious. That's good. We're actually going as Pokemon. I was going to be Ash Ketchum, but my wife, she had like better gear for it, so she's going to be Ash, and then I'm going to be, I know what happened. So I was going to be Ash, and then she was just going to be like a trainer, just like her own style. But then I found this 1986 LL Bean hiker vest, and it's got like 4 pockets, and it's crazy looking, and it's my size. And they sell for like $30, I think. So I'm going to wear that, and I'm going to be Brock with the, he's the Rock. He's got the Geodude and the Onyx. He's the first gym leader, which is crazy to think. But I'm gonna carry like a rock with me, and then Seth is gonna be Pikachu, and then my wife is gonna be Ash. So that's gonna be the costumes, and we're working on that like today, so that we can go to like as many of those trunk or treats. And my goal is to scoop up as much candy as possible. Like if they have a bunch of candy, and my son, he's 11 months, he doesn't eat candy. I'm gonna be like, oh, he loves. He loves Gobstoppers, and he loves, Skittles, and I'm a big gummy candy. My wife does the chocolates. I'm big on the gummy stuff. So I'm like, oh yeah, he loves that. Like, Starburst, are you kidding me? Give me 2, or give him 2. And I'll just put him in his bag, but then I'll just be like taking him out and putting him in my bag. I think that's kind of how it should be, right? We're going to be dressed up, so it's fair. It is fair. Flippin' Jr. says, do you carry balances on your credit card? Very good question. So the way that I do it is I have eBay payouts every week, and then I pay off the credit card every week when the eBay payout comes on Tuesday or Wednesday, whatever day it is. And that kind of, a friend of mine, he's doing really well on eBay. He's like, I don't know. He's doing really well in the clothing category. He's definitely a notch above me. And he says he does it because he can see very clearly like the profit per week based on his, he gets all his expenses out of the way, and it's just very clear. And then he puts away his money for taxes each week. So that is it's a really good way to do it. I was doing daily payouts, and it got kind of confusing and stuff like that, just because you're constantly seeing these different values come in. And then, but yeah, no, I don't leave the balance. I do it every week. I don't even wait till the month anymore, just every week. I think I used to do every 2 weeks, but now it's every week. But yeah, I use business credit cards. You get better bonus points with business, and then the business credit card that I use for shipping, it gets 3% cash back on shipping. So that's tough to beat, man. Tough to beat. I'm trying to get through this first box, man. I just got so many of them, dude. It's a good problem to have, but this is what happens when you don't ship items out over the weekend, It's just a lot. Gem Drop says, how do you file for an S Corp with an LLC? So, short answer is I don't know exactly, but you have to file as an S Corp. Like when there's like a form you have to get, and you have to say, well, we are filing as a small corporation. And then you have to be making enough money to pay yourself what your average pay is for that position in your city, So, for example, if you guys saw the one video where I kind of went in on Commonwealth Picker about, he was talking about 70K not being that big a deal. If you look at that video, I don't know what the title is. It's like, is 70K enough? Or is 70K terrible? Like a terrible income? Something like that. That video, you can see I put in like average, like the average or median pay in my town. It's like 20 something thousand. It's very low. So I pay myself $30,000 a year, because if you were like at a retail management, like for the mall or something, you're probably making like 35,000 a year. So I pay myself that amount, and then everything else, and that's, you're paying your taxes on that money, your Social Security, Medicare. Anything over that doesn't have to get the 15.3% tax for Social Security and Medicare. So that's what you save by filing as an S corp. And then there's other things as well, but that's why I got a CPA, because I don't know how to do it. And then they have to file every year, and then you also have to pay unemployment, which isn't a lot of money. It's like a scale, like you start out paying a little bit, then it ends up being almost very little money. So there's a lot of things that have to be done, right? So, but to save 15.3% on any money made after 30 grand in the year, like, come on now. That's a lot of money. And then, what it gets me thinking is like, now if you hire a CPA, do not think they are going to like go to bat and try to like do everything they can for you. What they are doing is they say, hey, what do you want us to do? Give us, like, we can give you some advice. Here's a list of things we need, but you have to provide all the data to them. Like, you do have to do work. But they're there to help. And then you can ask them, hey, I heard about this. Like, if I buy a car over 6,000 pounds or whatever, like, can I get this brake? Or how does, like, when I bought my Honda Civic, the hatchback Sport 2022 edition, Boost Blue, when I bought that car, I overpaid for it because of this is how the car market was, but I was very upset with my F-150, so I pretty much did a trade, so to speak, at the dealership. But anyway, I could have taken a $30,000 deduction for that car, and it's like, oh, great, you don't pay, $30,000 less off of your income. That's really good. But had I not had that CPA, he said, don't do that. And I said, why? He goes, they just increased the miles. It's like 61.5 cents per mile. And I drove, I think, 22,000 miles last year because I commute to go sourcing. I have to drive, 4 hours round trip, not to mention driving through the stores every week and sometimes twice a week to get the items that I get. So I had like a huge deduction with mileage. And had I done that with the car, that like you're kind of locked. The next year you can't deduct the car, and then I don't know if you can even do the mileage the next year. I'm not sure, but then okay, here's what it is. If you sell that car and you make any profit off of it, or if you sell it, like there's something about the money that was made off the sale that you have to like pay taxes on that or something. It's very crazy. So in my opinion, the best way to do it is if you do buy a car, then you can take that deduction, but then you'd want to sell it privately or like to a family member possibly, but then you're like kind of in the gray area of like breaking the law. So I don't know if that's very good to do, but I guess you'd want to drive a car and then you'd want to have enough money to buy another one to take that deduction. You don't want to like take the deduction, because I don't think you can take the miles as you're using that car. I think you only get one deduction. You either continue getting the miles deduction or you get the one-time deduction of the car. So anyway, that's why I hired it out, because I don't know, and they know all that stuff. And I hate it because they are so smart at it that they make it sound so easy. And I'm like, oh, of course, why didn't I think of that? Or like, of course that's how it works, but they're just really good at explaining things, and that's why I pay for them. But yeah, I don't know gem drops. I'm not really sure. He says you got to go film some stuff. Hey, all good. All good. Glad you were able to come hang out. Okay. So gem drops, my wife does work. So she works for the city. She's a health inspector, and we do insurance through her. So that is, I think it's like $650 a month for me, her, and my son. So that is kind of a lot. Raleigh restorations, what happens to the rest of the money? It just stays in the account. So that is also, that's something I'm not really sure. Like, I think you can use it, but I don't know if it has to be scheduled. It has to be categorized a certain way. I'm not really sure, because there's been times where like that 30,000, like the 1 month of payment, like my paycheck, it wasn't enough. Like something came up and I had to like pull out like $1,000 more to pay for something. There's certain things about it. I don't know what it's called, and yeah, but no, you can. I mean, you can just use it, I think. So I don't know. I gotta ask him, but yeah. I think it's an owner's draw, or like I don't know if it's a dividend. There's something about it, but it's cool. But you have to. I mean, if you only make 30 or 40,000, it's not gonna. You can't pay yourself like 10,000, and then I don't think you even can do like. Say you made 35,000 and you're paying yourself 30. I don't know if it works that way either with that other 5,000. Like I don't know if that even qualifies for it. So you have to be making enough money in the business for it. I do know that, but I don't know much about taxes. It's just kind of like I did a lot of research at one point in time, and I realized that I did want to do the S corp because I figured out that was a way people are saving a lot of money, but I did not have the confidence in filing it myself. And then the whole QuickBooks thing happened, and I was like, all right, or GoDaddy. So I was like, all right, I need to use QuickBooks. I don't understand how to use QuickBooks. I don't even know how much of QuickBooks I actually need, because there's like different levels of QuickBook help and stuff. So it's good just to pay for someone to do it. But it's also good to know like what's happening with your business, because a lot of taxes is just organization and understanding like the buckets that things are going in and then categorizing them. And QuickBooks is really good at that. So the way that works is like anytime I run my card at the same Goodwill, QuickBooks automatically categorizes it, So you can see your profit and loss, which all these people, oh man, I want to get on something here. And I'm gonna pick on J Ride Flips a little bit, because he's been doing really well, and his stuff comes up in my feeds. And he had a live, and he said, eBay, you can easily make 40 to 60,000 profit part time, and you can easily make 80 to 100,000 full time. I don't know what easy is though. Like I wonder why people use words so nonchalant too. Like I don't think it's that easy. I don't think it is. I mean, maybe it's because it's easy for them. So like if he's easily making that, but I wonder if he'll show his profit and loss with QuickBooks, like your actual money that you made, and not just like showing your eBay sales minus your shipping stuff, because his shipping's through pirate ship, so it doesn't come on eBay, so his eBay looks different than other people's. So I'm just curious, like who's gonna show their profit and loss at the end of the year, because there's gonna be all these videos of like what I made in a year, like how much did I make profit this year on a resale or whatever. But yeah, you can QuickBooks. If you guys don't have QuickBooks, if you're using some of these other things, I think QuickBooks is like pretty much they got everything. I mean, and then the thing is like, if you hire and you have some random one, right, like some small company that's categorizing stuff, that the CPA is gonna be like, look, we don't use that, we use QuickBooks. Like she can handle my QuickBooks login, she can do all that stuff, and she's intimately familiar with it. So it's just better. Virginia says, I use QuickBooks Online and desktop. I use it daily. When filing, you can use the Schedule C on your 1040 form. You can get your profit and loss from QuickBooks on a report. Jem says he has shown us his profit and loss. From QuickBooks, or are you talking like his eBay stuff? I'm curious. I want to see it. Because I don't know. The only thing that he like threw me off with was when he was talking about his first year reselling, and he had the roommate who he was paying $1,600 a month, and he was doing his bug business / like eBay stuff, and then he's got 2 employees, and it's just I'm just like, I don't know. He's obviously doing very well with social media and making a lot of money on that front, but I don't want people to think like, oh, it's easy to make 80 grand or it's easy to make 100 grand. Like, I don't think it is at all. And maybe I'm doing it too hard. Maybe I'm doing it the hard way, but I've got it to where like my job is very low stress. You know, as stressful it is shipping all these shirts, it's a pretty easygoing thing. But I would I'd be very curious to see some of that stuff just from the selling, because I know like YouTube kind of changes things. I mean, he could be making pretty good money on YouTube with the amount of views and stuff. So no doubt he's killing that. But I just wonder, man. I just wonder. But anyway, it's not just him though. It's not just Jared. All these people, you know, all these people online talking about like their money and stuff. And then it's like, oh, they have their wife doing all the shipping, you know, like, or, oh, I have, you know, so-and-so doing this work, or like I'm having this, like I have Randy, who I pay as an employee. She works about no more than 12 hours a week. She does photos. That's all she does. Now I do everything else. So when people are like, oh yeah, you know, I easily make, you know, 50, 80, 100 grand. I'm kind of like, all right, man, like, really though? Like, do you? And it's like, it's hard to see it. It's very hard to see the numbers when people are just throwing out certain ones. Like, I can show you certain numbers to make it look like, he's making, you know, tons of money, but it's like, at the end of the day, it's different. Flippin' Jr. says, when you use the word easy on a YouTube video, you're trying to get views. Well, that's another thing in its entirety. And I've been watching a lot about like YouTube and making good videos and retention and people, because you're performing, right? When you're doing a video, you're performing a certain way to get a certain thing across. Like, I think more natural vlogging, like just kind of being open about stuff is a lot different than like animating yourself because I got all these sales today. Like, it's just, I wonder how much of it is people just want the viral video. Because I'm telling you, if you get a 1 million view video in our category, eBay reselling YouTubers, you're going to make like $5,000. And it can happen. I mean, I've had a video, it reached like 30, 40,000 views. Like that, I didn't even know what I was doing. I just like explaining how to do those photos, and that video went viral. Like, that is considered viral based on the size of the channel. But I was watching one where they're like, if you show your hands a lot, like when you're talking, it keeps retention. So then I was like, should I make my next video showing my hands a lot? Because that's what keeps the retention. And it's like, I don't know, like, do you want to like, are you making a video to try to keep people watching? Like, you want pop-ups and words and text and flashes and transitions and sound effects? Maybe. I mean, I don't know. Like, or are you just trying to like get a message across for people that are watching to help them? And I'm not saying like trying to be a do-gooder like type thing. Like, I want viral videos. Trust me. I want that type of growth and income. I mean, it's super addicting. It is very addicting to get, even just having this many people watch. Like, it's a good feeling. Like, you get boosted up. So imagine you're putting out these videos and you're getting like 10,000 views, 20,000. Harry Tornado gets like, you know, 100,000 views in one day. Like, that's some serious cash, man. That is some serious money. And it's a skill. It's a very good skill. But I just don't think you should do it by saying like, watch this video to easily make 100 grand on eBay reselling. Like, dude, it's not easy. Like, it is not. It's not like working in an oil field. I mean, it's easier than that, but it's not, you know, it's just not what people make it out to be. But, you know, people watch it. They you know, people watch what they watch. They like it. They get inspired by it. I was inspired by Daily Refinements. That's why I started going into clothes and stuff. And now it's like, now I want to get into, I mean, an advertising company making videos for people. That's pretty cool, because what it is, it's like you're a consultant in a way, because these people aren't just like, okay, go make me a commercial. They're like, hey, this is what we're about, and this is what we're trying to get across. And you're taking your creative, your problem solving. You're like, all right, this is how I think the video should look, and this is what we need to say. And like, I will say it for you. I like that more than selling clothes. And it's like, would you do something you really enjoyed, even though like you could make more money doing something else you don't like? I don't know. Seth, that's my son's name. What's up? He says, what's your favorite type of sourcing? Thrift store, garage sale, physical auction, online auction, estate sales? My favorite type of sourcing is pretty much having backroom access somewhere. And it's not something I can even do that, But like I've had instances where, say, there was one where I sold the Farm Aid shirt last week. Farm Aid, it's the Willie Nelson stuff, I think. Farm Aid, and it was super expensive vintage shirt. Now, the reason I got that shirt was there was an apartment complex where a gentleman had passed away, and he didn't have any family. So the property manager had to hire this lady to clean it out. She was like 65-year-old lady, real small, skinny, smoking cigarettes, very, very spunky. Well, she called a friend of mine, and my friend called me. Well, guess the only other people that had been in that apartment was the property manager and his guys. They took all the electronics, like the phones, the tablets, the computers. Like, almost if you were to rob a place, that's what they took, which is pretty messed up. Now, the woman that was the property manager that had to get rid, or not the property manager, but the person that the property manager hires to clean out these apartments, she wanted certain stuff for a flea market. She wanted like the really decor, like there was one of those globe beer like clocks that look like a stopwatch, but it's like hangs off of a thing. That's like $600,000 item. She wanted that, and then my friend wanted all the media. He got a bunch of like classic rock collection stuff, and then I went for the clothes. That is a backroom access to something, and it's just like, there it is. Take what you want. I paid $1 a piece for like 30 Harley Davidson shirts. Some of them were single stitch. 3 of them were 3D emblems. $1 a piece. I mean, that's like, it's just on a silver platter. So that is my favorite type of sourcing. But next to that would be half off days at like really big thrift stores, like the Thrift Giants and Thrift Cities and Family Thrifts. Like, those are huge chain type places in Texas. And half off days are killer. Like, that's where I get most of my items for the best cost. Great question, Seth. Who knew my son's namesake would have the best question so far in this live stream? Here's to you, Seth. I chose Seth because I have an S name. My wife has an S name. I wanted a 1-syllable name. And I knew a Seth growing up. I knew a couple Seths, but I knew actually 2 Seths. Actually, the 3 Seths that I kind of knew growing up, they were all really good people. 2 of them I liked a lot more than the other one, but at the same time, he was very successful too. So I figured maybe there's something to that name. Let's just name him Seth. My wife's got a really good name in case we have a girl. We're going to try to have another kid this summer. And she's got a really good name picked out, but she said do not mention it to anybody because we don't want any friends. We don't want anybody we know to name their child this. It's a girl name. If you guys can guess it, I won't acknowledge if it's correct. I will not acknowledge if it's correct. But it's a great name. I don't know if she thought of it or me, though. That's the problem, because if I forget that I thought of the name, then she will claim that she thought of the name. I may have to just give that one up. But I told her I don't think it's going to work out. And she's like, well, what do you mean? And I was like, I don't think we're going to have a girl. I think it's only guys coming out of here, I don't think it's going to be a woman. So we'll see. We will see. Oh, man, this is going PCS FPO box. I wonder if this is going to be one of those international labels that I can't print. Do you guys have problems? Serenity is a beautiful name, but no. Do you guys have problems printing the labels on the Rolo if it's like an international one? Yep, I'm having that problem. So what I normally do is I download it and I sometimes print it on my wife's printer, but it's not like plugged in ready to go. You got to like turn it on and connect it. So what I have been doing is just taking a big zoom in of the barcode, like zoom in as much as you can with like a screen share or screenshot on the laptop and just print it out. And then they have to type in the number because it's too like jacked up to do. But that is one of the things I hate about shipping. That's like the worst thing to happen. And it's usually like one a week. It really is. So we are behind. The Collecta Hub says, how about them Chicago Bears? Agent, what it is, they're calling him like agent, like Bajent. His name is Bajent, Tyson Bajent, but they're calling him agent. So they're like secret agent man. Like they're saying he needs to change his number to 00 instead of 17. But yeah, no, I mean, Deontay Foreman ran like out of his mind, and then our DBs played great. Like Kyler Gordon doesn't get a lot of like call outs, but he's doing a really good job. The defensive line still cannot produce sacks, which I think we got one, but I mean, you got to be getting like 4 a game as a unit, you know. We're just not doing it. So, yeah, no, they're winning. I mean, victory Monday. I'm happy about it. Here's more of these vintage Coach shorts. These are from the 80s. These sold for $35 plus shipping. The other one I had sold for like, I think 40 or 50 plus shipping. I think it was 50. I almost held out for more money on this one, but I got them from my wife's grandpa, and I was kind of like, I'll just take it. I mean, it's a good sell. I don't want to just like hold out for $15 more, you know? Like, that's fine. I'm not too concerned with it. Not too concerned. I accept offers on everything. Almost anything profitable I accept offers on. I think it really helps my store. I think it does. Virginia, happy to see you in. You say, you can transfer the cost over to QB. Statements should be entered into, QuickBooks. I thought you meant quarterback. You can transfer the cost over to QuickBooks. Statements should be entered into QuickBooks. Then you can pull a report, keep high-value receipts, scan, and put on QuickBooks. That's the whole thing. The scanning, the transferring to QuickBooks. If you have the card linked to QuickBooks, it just does it. As soon as you're at the store, it does it. Yeah, that's what, you know. I don't want to spend any time with taxes and stuff. Like, I really don't. Now, my CPA, they do both my business and then they do my family's taxes as well. So, you know, there is a little bit of time we have to, you know, get them some files. And they have a server and you just upload it to there. And, you know, anything changes, they need something else, they just email me. And then they're also in person where I can just go, you know, I can just go talk to them. And sometimes I get lonely and I just go over there and say, hey, what's up? What's up? I wonder if they just see me and they're just like, oh God, here he comes. Why doesn't this guy have anything better to do than to come bother us? But hey, open door policy. I'm taking advantage of it. There's one thrift store that provides coffee for free. It's a small thrift store. I used to go there just for coffee. I used to go to my bank just to get coffee in the morning. Hey, if you're gonna have Green Mountain, was it Green Mountain Coffee or whatever it is? Like, I'm there for it, man. But then I realized, like, it takes the time to go there and do that as opposed to just doing it at my house. You know, I use McDonald's coffee. My wife and I make coffee every morning. So, 1993 says, I'm trying to work. You're cracking me up. Some people clearly inflate. Show you your hands. Show the hands. And you notice Commonwealth Picker does that a lot. He's like, there's these things that, like, big YouTube, Casey Neistat, like, if you watch these videos about how these people make the videos, you can copy it. Like, it's not that hard, but it's hard to do well and to make it your own, because it's, you know, but there's people that just, like, do things that, you know, like, hey, wait a second, like, talking with your, and they said something about showing your palms make you seem more, like, inviting or something. So, like, am I more inviting, or is it like, all right, let's talk about some sales, guys. But yeah, I'm fired up, man. I think it was the workout, though. Haven't even had an energy drink yet. Mr. Guy says, I'm not a fan of the full-time YouTuber part-time reseller. Oh, you're not a fan of people making a full-time living on YouTube and then reselling part-time? Why is that? I don't think there's anything wrong with it as long as those people are not saying, I'm a reset, like I am a, like if they come off as saying like reselling is like their core of who they are, it kind of, it's more of like if you're diverting most of your time to content and YouTube and just a little bit to reselling. Now, if it's directly 50-50, but you're making way more money on content than reselling, but the reselling's fueling the content, I think that's okay. The only way it's not okay is if it's like I don't know. It really comes down to how much time is spent doing the task. if you're spending 30 hours a week, like content creating, that includes editing, filming, like doing really well. And then you're like 10 hours of the week, you're reselling and you're making like, 30, 40 grand. But like all that time is spent on content. You're making like 60 grand on content or 100 grand. Then if you're saying like, I'm a full-time reseller here, well, like, come on now. You're a creator. You're doing well, and you're using reselling as your engine, which is fine. I don't want to hate anybody who's doing that. I just don't want somebody to like be. I don't want people to like. I don't want to watch videos when I know for a fact like it's not what they're saying. Like, I know the retention is. I just don't want people to come off as like too like over exaggerating things, right? Like I don't like that. I don't like people over-exaggerate things. Have you heard what's going on with DR from Rockstar Flipper? What is DR from Rockstar Flipper? I love Rockstar. I mean, Casey, he is I've been watching him for like since 2019 pretty much, but I don't watch him religiously. No, I'm not one of those guys. I'm just saying like, you've watched some of my videos possibly for like how to do something. Like that's who I watched how to do stuff before like Daily Refinement, and then I started watching him too. But yeah, no, I like what Casey's done. I think I don't know, man. I just think he's carved out how he wants his life to be, like where he lives, where he's set up. I think he's done what he's wanted to do in this life, and I can really appreciate people who have made their own path. A lot of people, they have like a lot given to them, right? They know no matter what they try, they got this fallback of like, this is going to work. Like, my family's business. Like, my son, if, he'll always have like, I will always be able to have a business job for him most of the time, right? But I'd rather him do his own thing, And I think people that do their own thing and make success, I think it's one of the best things. But no, I have no clue what you're talking about with the DR. Okay. Seth says, thanks. He says, my dad was an antique store owner when he had me, and he named me after Seth Thomas clock. Oh, jeez. I guess. I see it. I've been involved in antiques my entire life. Just started an online auction platform to liquidate estates. Very cool. Virginia? No. Starts with an S, Torch. How do you go searching for best business cards? That's a good question. I honestly talk to people. So I talk to other people. So if you were talking to me on best business cards, I would tell you the one that I have. It's the Chase Sapphire Preferred. It's $99 a year, but you get you get $1,000 sign-on bonus, but you have to spend, I think it's $15,000 in 3 months maybe. So that's not easy to do. But there's the Chase Business Preferred. I think that one is free, and if you spend $6,000, you get a signing bonus of $750. But you have to have a business to get those cards. The other really good one is the Amex card. But I went off of what my friend was telling me, Mike, and he was saying that it's kind of nice just to have all the cards in one login, So, but yeah. Man, a lot of bags. Seth says, I've only met another Seth. Mr. Guy says, I only do eBay International program. I do too, but sometimes the labels come out weird. Seth says, my wife and I have daughters named Mariah and Kayla. Very nice. Son named Clayton. Okay, full boat there. I use Pirate Ship for that, FPO. Oh, man, that's a good idea. Dang. Does it come out different? Does the label come out different? Brandon says, you're so funny. Cry face emoji. Virginia says, LOL, I prepare taxes and bookkeeping. I get it all the time. I want to hang out at the casino. And a guy next to me were talking about taxes. He took my number, laughed aloud. Everyone needs help with taxes. Well, Virginia, was he getting your number for tax reasons? Was it for tax reasons? Mm-hmm. Casino, drinks, gambling, taxes. Come on now. I mean, if you're a tax professional, like if I was going after a tax professional, one of my pickup lines would be tax related to get the number. Wardrobe says changing Commonwealth Flipper to Commonwealth Flapper. No chance. No chance. He's too ingrained. He's got too much of a following. Changing logos and like names is a big deal, so I don't think that's true. Okay. You guys get me distracted, man. Oh, check this shirt out. You see this one? Those are people. They look like one of those expensive art pieces. This is a Robert Graham shirt. And this one sold for $51 plus shipping. We'll show it again. Upside down. 60 bucks for a shirt with a bunch of skinny people on it. Like, they look like a bunch of Slendermans out there. You know Slender Man? It's Halloween. I'm getting excited. You need to open a phone line. I'm having my own laugh fest. Yeah, I would like to know how to bring people on, but a lot of people aren't very savvy with like videos and stuff. You remember is Joey Bada Bing? He was doing his lives when he first started. He allowed people on, and I got on there and I said my whole intro and I didn't have my mic on. It was muted. So, you know, and that was back in 2020, I think, or maybe I think it was in 2020. So like that could have gotten me more focused on YouTube back then, and who knows, I'd probably be at like, you know, a ton of subs and like a lot better at YouTube. But I'll tell you this, if you don't have the right editing stuff, like you can do it from an iPhone, very difficult, time consuming. But if you don't have a good computer rig or like a powerful computer, editing is a nightmare. And that's pretty much, I didn't have the stuff to do it right. And I mean, I was still juggling full-time work, struggling to figure out eBay, struggling to figure out YouTube. I wasn't good at anything, and then now I have time to get better. I wouldn't say I'm that good at YouTube, but I am getting better. I know what needs to happen. More hands, more hands. More hands out there. Show my hands. Come on, Sean. I will tell you this, because I've been speaking more, when I do those ad reads for people and stuff like that, like they're like, well, like it sounds right. Like it sounds like a commercial. And that's from just talking, I think. I think that's from just talking. Like having conviction with what you're saying, even if I don't really know what their business is all that much. Sometimes shipping can really take your profit. Woodrow, what do you mean by that? Do you mean like not charging enough for shipping? Because shipping is like, it's one of my main expenses, but I mean, 3% on like $50,000, that's like, what is that? Like $1,500 profit I make from buying $50,000 worth of labels. And then I also charge more for shipping than all my items ever cost. So that I never pay like less on shipping. Like I don't lose on shipping. So no, I don't agree with that, man. Might be doing something wrong. I would agree with Mr. Guy. With the international shipping. Seth says everyone gets to choose their own balance. Yeah. I'd rather watch someone who's full-time reselling. They have better info, more up to date. Yeah, the problem is like if I didn't do any YouTube this year, I would be making more on eBay, no doubt. Just because of the time stuff, man. I mean, it takes time to do all this, you know. So that's the thing. If somebody is full-time reselling like I am, I'm not as good as I could be, right? But I'm trying to buy back time. That's why I have a part-time employee to buy back some of my time. But yeah, that's but man, dude, some of those yard sale videos, like the interactions you see, like some of the treasures that a lot of those guys find that are, you know, they're full-time, but they're making really good money on YouTube. Like, that's good content, man. I've watched American Pickers like 2 to 3 times all the way through. I love those guys. I mean, I don't like there's plenty of things I hate about those guys. I do hate them a good deal, but I love watching their stuff. I don't know what to say. Like, Storage Wars, hilarious, man. Like, that's why YouTube is so good, because it provides you something to watch that's like, you know, it's just different. I don't know. Let's see. It's tough to find the balance. Yeah. Virginia says daily refinement. What about him? DR. Oh, DR. Oh, hang on. So you said, what's the deal with daily refinements? Have you heard what is going on with daily refinement from Rockstar? No, I have not. Did he get kicked off eBay? No, poor guy. No, I haven't heard. Are they going to box? That would be something. Have you guys seen like the YouTube boxing stuff, or like obviously the Paul brothers have made, you know, what they've made out of boxing nowadays, but I was talking to my friend about like eBay reseller YouTubers boxing, you know, and I talked about the Ben's war versus like the shop from the thrift store racks war, like that actual fight battle. I don't know what type of weapon I would choose in that battle, but think about boxing. Is Casey and Daily Refinement going to fight? Are they going to have a boxing match? I think Chris is pretty tall, but I think Casey's decent size, and he probably outweighs Chris, and it helps in wrestling and like fighting sometimes is weight. That's why they have weight classes. Shocker. And I'll tell you this. I was doing a week of like combatives, and there was a guy who was 10 pounds heavier than me, and we knew the same basic stuff. Like, it was like a learning thing, like the same basic moves, 10 pounds heavier, and you can't really do a whole lot. Like, because if they tire out, they can just kind of lay on you. Like, and it's hard to, like, because you're tired too. So, weight classes is a thing. But yeah, I wonder if they're fighting. Jack says, got an email from your kid. He says you won't let him be a Packers fan. He loves it. Jack. Good night, dude. I may send him up north to live with his great aunt. I guess it'd be his great aunt. If it's my aunt, what is that to my son? Is that his aunt as well? Or is it like a great aunt? Or a grand aunt? Is it a grand aunt? Anyway, she's a Packers fan, so I'd be like, you're heading up north to live with her. Let's see. When it starts to become, how do I get people to watch my videos versus how can I show people how to resell, it's just not for me. I see what you're saying. Right. The problem with that is, like, those videos run out. You know, like, you kind of, how many times can you show you how to do photos, you know, that type of thing. Like, that's my best videos, but it's like, I can't just keep doing tutorials on photos. Although I've done a few photo setups, but that's because I legitimately changed how I was doing them. It helped my employee go faster. Everything went a little more smoother. Looking for great info, not great editing. What about great hands? I got a decent set of hands. They're like not all fat, you know, but they're strong. Virginia says, first he called me babe. He thought I was his wife. Then all of a sudden changed it to finance. Okay, yeah. Sure. Okay. Hey, he took a shot. I don't know. What is the word? Riz? How was his riz after he changed his tone? His riz. That's what they say. Oh, I got a repeat buyer. Do you guys ever get repeat buyers? I think like 6% of my sales are repeat buyers, which is always a good thing because they know what to expect. Brandon says, this is my first year reselling. Usually I get my taxes done for free at the library. Would you suggest I get a CPA that I'm a reseller or stay with my library? It's a pretty good question. It's like when to get a CPA, is that the question? When to get a CPA? I would say if it's basic, like what I mean by basic is, I mean, even if you're, okay, so say you wanted to take a home deduction because you're selling out of your home and you don't feel confident like taking the percentages of the room or the percentages of the internet that you pay, then you should get a CPA. So it's done correct. it's worth it for you to learn through that payment rather than for you to just like think you learn it one way and then it actually is not, like going down the line. And I'm not one where it's like, because you did it wrong by accident, you're not paying your fair share. I'm not that guy. I get it. People make mistakes. I'm just saying that education from a CPA is worth the payment if you're trying to do deductions outside of like, I'm deducting cost of goods sold and shipping. If that's the only things you're deducting and you're not taking mileage deduction, you're not taking all these, like, I just think, and then I also think if you're trying to make this like your main business and you're trying to build it to a very substantial income to support yourself, I think it makes sense to get a CPA. But at the other end is like, there are people that do it all themselves. They're like, look, I know how to do this. I will save the $500 a year or $600 a year and not pay a CPA. So it's kind of like, it's like, how much do you want to learn on your own versus like, do you want to pay to get the best knowledge? Or if the library's figuring out your home deduction, if they're figuring out, hey, keep track of miles, like do this, if they're acting as well as a CPA, that's pretty good too. You know, it's just like, is it a good experience when you go? Like, are you having to wait in line? Like, are there a lot of people using it? I mean, because it's just a little, it's nice. It's a nice, convenient thing to like go into an office. You're one-on-one with like very experienced people, which maybe the person at the library is very experienced, but I remember we used to do them for free at places like that. And even with our basic taxes, there were stuff they didn't know. They just knew like the basic form kind of thing, you know? It's like those types of setups, in my opinion, were like, I don't want to do TurboTax, so I'm going to go there to have somebody else do TurboTax. It's kind of what it felt like. So it's a good question though. I would wait until the next year and then do one. Like this year, maybe, well, taxes are already done. I don't know. I just like starting like New Year's kind of stuff, man. Woodrow says flapper sounded funny to me. Collecta-Hub says you're a jack of all trades, master of none. Yeah, I don't know about that. I mean, which, if I had to say master, it'd probably be selling clothes. Because, like, I don't think I'm there yet, but, like, total sales on eBay, like, total sales since I started, I think is nearing 500,000. So, I mean, that's pretty good for just a young boy in the South, you know, $500,000 in sales by yourself. That's pretty good. Well, I don't say it by myself. I have an employee now that does photos, but no, I wouldn't say that. I mean, now if you call like my other businesses like content, if you want to call it advertisement, it's still like a hobby in my opinion. I don't think you can consider it a business yet. Anything content related that I'm making money on, yeah, those are masters of none, yeah. But I think reselling, like, I'm doing pretty well. Well enough. I mean, I can get my bills paid. I sold a Walmart vest just now. I can't believe you said that. Collecta-Hub, how dare you? Oh, you said JK at the end. I didn't see the JK, but I'm still taking it as offense. How dare you? This Walmart vest sold for $18.99 plus $8.99 shipping. So some Walmart worker out there messed up his vest and just spent $28 to me to buy a vest. And I can tell you, when I bought this vest, I bought 4 of them because they were all there. And I was like, oh, somebody retired out of their Walmart gig and donated their vest. So those sales are really, those are the ones people don't really pick up, you know. Like, it's nice to pick up a Coogie sweater, but it's very like low key to pick up a Walmart vest and sell it for that, you know. So everyone can sell the good stuff, man. Which I was gonna say, I didn't even do it, man. I completely forgot. The camera lens. I sold a camera lens. I already bagged it up. This is how I pack. This is my hard goods packing for the day. I generously use eBay tape. This was a lens I picked up, and I actually I Instagram message DM J-Ride Flips when I bought this lens. It was, I think, $7, and I was like, look, man, is this okay? Like, is it decent? And he was just like, yeah, it's a good one. Sold for $39.99 plus $8.99 shipping. So like $48 for the lens. Paid $7. Hard goods they're it, man. You make a lot of money on it. So if you have 2,000 of those, maybe you are making some good money. But I feel like there's a lot of problems with hard goods, though. I will say that. Because when I sold hard goods, learning how to sell, I eventually caught on, and I was like, okay, you got to test all this stuff. There were so many issues where people just didn't know how to use the thing they bought. Like, one was a automatic pill dispenser that would lock, and it would only open on certain times of the day. And it was crazy. It's for people who, like, you know, don't have the memory and they don't want to accidentally take the wrong pills. I sold it for like $60, and this person fought me tooth and nail about this, and they're like, oh, it doesn't work. I sent them a video link on like how to do it, like the YouTube video I watched. I tried everything I could, and I got like a negative feedback, and I had all these issues. And that was just one item. Like, that stuff happened all the time, it seemed like. Just all the time. My wife's home. So, Virginia says, learn to do it yourself. You can save a lot of money. I learned accounting because I used to make a lot of money in the 2000s, $10K a month, so I learned it on my own first. Yeah. Man, it may even be worth to like pay for some one-on-one, you know, help, but I don't want to learn it. My uncle works in a bank. He said I should learn. He's like, look, he's just keeping things organized, what he said. But I don't really care. I think it's pretty confusing. Just not my cup of tea. Not my cup of tea. Let's see. Yeah, Mr. Guy is saying to the gentleman Wood said he should make money off shipping. Well, I think Daily Refinement said at one time it's shipping and handling. So like your storage, you should charge for that. Charge them $1. You know, why not? I think as long as the end price is right, the person is okay with paying. It's 1 o'clock. That's the timer. That was an Ariat shirt I was about to pack. We're going to finish up these little chat room. Is this a chat room? Do you guys remember? I mean, it says chat, but is it a chat room? Do you guys remember chat rooms? Let's see. Motivation, great aunt instead of a grand aunt. But what about the aunt above that? Would that be a great aunt? Because technically it's the grand level generation thing. So send repeat buyers coupons, Mr. Guy. I don't send them coupons. They just buy again because my prices are so spicy. I wouldn't trust CPAs. Too many errors. Contact tax agent. I no longer use a CPA since I don't live in California anymore. I worked with an enrolled agent. They work directly with the IRS. That's interesting. CPAs can only work for the state they live in. Enrolled agents handle all of the U.S. Enrolled agents handles taxes and can negotiate with the IRS if you have a high debt due. Very interesting. But if you only are in one state, does it matter if that person's an expert in all the states? But I do like their tie to the IRS. That is a benefit for sure. And I don't know. I think my CPA, I think a lot of people like real estate agents, right? There's tons of real estate agents. Most of them have high turnovers, aren't good. I wonder if CPAs are similar. I know you need education, but my CPAs are wicked smart. Like, they are really sharp. Mr. Guy says stop saying it wrong. Maybe they came up with the name wrong to begin with. Okay, then they spell it wrong, Mr. Guy, if it's Koo and then G, not Coogie. Whatever, man. All right. Yes, great. All right, so 1993 is an expert when it comes to like family lineage and stuff. If accounting isn't your cup of tea, you can always pay someone to do it. I have clients that are too busy to do it themselves. I also have clients that do want to learn. And well, that's the thing. Like, I learned through them as well. So that's it. I get what you're saying, but yeah, very well. Okay, I hope you guys really enjoyed the live shipping episode for today. I will see you guys. I'm going to do a what sold, but I want to do it creative. I'm going to work on my editing. You're going to see more hands. You're going to see pop-ups and noise and sound effects and flashes. And it's going to be a I'm gonna try to make it like my style. I'm gonna try to style up my videos, because as some of you wanted just direct info, no nonsense, a lot of people want the glitz and glamour, and I'm here for both. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'll see you